Hey guys, what's up? It's Bring Me the Boa here, and today this is gonna be like a can I draw video, but basically we're gonna talk about types of patterns of snakes that you can come across, or reptiles in general, I should say. I'm not gonna really use any of mine because I've noticed that if I use like a certain color and examples with people, sometimes they seem to think that color pattern cannot exist outside of that color palette. So today I'm going to be drawing them instead. I also have a couple right here already drawn. I'm leaving some sticky notes up just for reminders for myself, as well as just sort of just add stuff to the back of this empty wall. But in this video we'll cover two things. First we're going to go into what is herpetology, and basically I've talked about herps and herping and what that means. And then next we're going to talk about color patterns of reptiles and stuff like that. It's mainly going to be reptiles. I don't really do mammal stuff. So yeah, it's going to be reptile color patterns. But without further ado, we'll get into this. So herpetology is the study of reptiles and amphibians. People think that herpetology should be more like a subset of ornithology because reptiles are closely related to birds and amphibians, and amphibians should be their own study. And other people are like, nah. I'm one of those people that are like, nah. I like how it's set up. But, a herper is someone who goes out and looks for reptiles and amphibians. They usually do not collect. They usually do not keep. It's more of like a hobby for them. They also will take photographs and stuff like that. Everybody's a little different, though. So, and then herping is the act of going out and looking for reptiles and amphibians. So that's kind of, I just thought I'd specify that because when I say herps and herpetology and stuff, people always think it has to do with herpes. And I get that the words are similar, but they're not at all related. I don't see why there'd have to be an entire field of study dedicated to an STD. So, yeah, it'd be a little bit whack. But there's all this stuff on my desk. I'm like pushing it off. Sorry, but yeah, herpetology is just people who study reptiles, people who look for reptiles, that type of stuff. You can be a casual herper. You can be an academic herper. I'm hoping to be both. All right, now I'm just casual. Well, to an extent, for me, all of the herping I do is in academic pursuit because in general, it just helps me learn, helps me do stuff, and overall increases my overall capacity of knowledge that I have for the reptiles and the reptilian world. So I'm more of a casual, but I do it for academic intent, is the best way to put it. But now that we have that covered, because this is going to be like a shorter video, we're going to talk about color patterns. And I thought these would be a good way to like mesh these two together because they are related. Any like aspiring herpetologist out there, anyone who's just vaguely interested in reptiles, and this is going to be very reptile centered because color patterns are different with amphibians to an extent. But this is just talking about the type of markings on a color pattern, not like a specific type of color pattern or anything like that. So, and on another video I mentioned banding versus striping. And so striping is the act, or not act of, it's basically a color pattern that has a line going up or down the ventral side. So it goes with the ventral side of the snake or reptile. This is going across. So for banding, it's going across the ventral side. So let's see. Actually, hold on. I was going to say I wasn't going to do examples like living ones, but since we're only a few minutes in, I'm going to get some. So this video will have some reoccurring friends from other videos. So yeah, you'll know some of them. Some of them may be new. But I will say I do not have examples of everything. So I have examples of 3 different color phases. Or color patterns, I should say. A little Cheerio. So, to show off what I mean by going along and going across the ventral side, this is my G-stripe Cheerio. And this is my Pug Fruit Loop. Yeah, this is my Pug Fruit Loop. He decided to come in while I was filming. But, I don't know if he's going to stay in here or not. Do you want in or want out? But, so, he does this a lot, but I cut it out, but I think I'll leave that in just because he's being a good boy. But I should close that just so that we don't have all the dogs coming in. But, so, he is what's known as a G-stripe animal. And, hey, you're coming out. You can tell the stripe, as you can see right here, going down his spine area, his dorsal area, that is a stripe. The stripe is going along the ventral, well, no, not the ventral. I've been saying that this whole time, haven't I? The dorsal side. Okay, you want out? There you go, little bud. But, so, it's the dorsal side. Should have realized I was saying ventral. Sorry about that. It is a stripe going across the dorsal side of the animal. Or along with the dorsal side of the animal. Oh, you got a little bit of stuff on your head. Can you let me get that off for you? No? Okay. But, maybe I can get it now. Yeah. He's about to go into shed, I can tell, with how baggy his skin looks. And, he looks kind of dull compared to normal, so I'm actually excited, more sheds. But, so let's see here. Now that's the next group of color patterns. Yeah, here we go. So, you might recognize this little tub thingy. That's where I have my tricolors in. So, let's see. We'll go with you, because... So, Momo's going into shed right now, so we'll go... Oh, I just realized these are both the species that I have that don't have keeling on their scales. I should explain that at some point too, but not this time. So, with these guys, it's pretty obvious. There's a big color difference between them. No, banding does not have to be with this color pattern, or color scheme, I should say, not color pattern. You can have banding of different things, like the Western banded gecko, for instance, has bands of yellow and bands of like a brown tan color. But as you can see, on the dorsal side, the stripe goes along the dorsal side. It goes up the spine. The banding pattern goes across the dorsal side of the animal. So they go across, and these guys go up. So that's the difference between these, and that's why I kept correcting myself, because this is striping, this is banding. And let's see. Hi. And then let's see here. Hi. We also... Oh, that is so cool. Sorry, he's like crawling, but like his muscles are moving and he's upside down, so it just looks interesting. Then for the next color pattern, because there are differences between color patterns and color phases in color morphs. Color morphs can be a combination of the two. Color patterns are like the striping, the banding, and then now to show you blotches. So I'm going to have Andromeda because she's a wild type. So for hog noses and for a lot of other snake species, this is a very common color palette as well as a color pattern. This is probably the most... I would say it's probably one of the most prevalent ones, because now I'm thinking about it, it's on rat snakes, corn snakes, not king snakes. It's on rats, corns, all the species of hognoses, gophers, a lot of species of rattlesnakes. I'm trying to think of what other ones I know they have this. Bull snakes, a few water snake species. And this is a very common, oh, you can't even see her. This is a very common color type, color palette choice, as well as color pattern choice. So this is blotching, which is a little bit different from spotting. Now spotting, as you can see, like there are these bigger saddles right here. And, like the blotches are big. Boop. But in the case of an individual having spotting, the spots will be much, much smaller from my understanding of how color patterns work. Oh, this was a bad idea. But, so, this is blotching. Blotching and spotting are pretty similar, and I've heard some people even use them interchangeably, but I've also heard people saying that no, there's a difference. Some common animals I know that have spotting are the twin spot morph of the hognose, which is one that can occur in the wild. Hi. And the twin spot rattlesnake, I know is one species that has spotting. A few gecko species like the Mediterranean gecko, I think the leaf-toed gecko. I can't remember any others, but those are like the main 4 color patterns you'll see. Color palettes that you'll see. Most of them here in the U.S. Are going to be like more brown, beige, like earth tones. And then there'll be some that will mimic coral snakes, and there'll be a lot of black colored snakes as well. That's pretty much it that I can think of for color patterns. And then color palettes, honestly, there are just some reptiles that blow the color palette out of the park, like the Baja, collared lizard. Those things are beautiful. They're like a bright electric blue, but like a yellow and black collar on their neck, as well as some white intermixed. Let's see, there's a couple other things I was about to mention. They just flew out of my brain. Some corn snakes and rat snakes. Oh, eastern hognose snake are like one of the most variable snakes that I've ever seen. Based on, they have a wide variety of color palette, color pattern, and color morph variations. Some of them don't even have a pattern, they're just one solid color. Others have are patternless except for the little head stamp, which is right here. On a hognose, it's the head markings. Some of them I've seen have all markings, and others I've seen have sort of I don't know how to describe it except for an inversion. So the blotches will be the color that normally is prevalent, and then the rest of the the base color will be black or brown or whatever the blotches are usually. Sorry, I keep I'm sick, so I keep wanting to cough and sneeze. But yeah, God, I want an eastern hognose really bad, but that's a passion project that'll be much, much farther down the line. But yeah, they would be a perfect example to just show how varied species of snakes can be in terms of color pattern, and they're not very well bred in captivity, so their color patterns and color palettes are all what they occur in the wild as. So that's why I'm saying they're probably one of the most variable snakes I've ever seen. But yeah, these are just the 4 general color patterns I've seen here in the U.S. I've seen stripes on rat snakes. I've seen a couple, I think they were racers when I was younger. Then splotches are very common with bull snakes, rattlesnakes, gopher snakes, obviously hognose snakes. And then the banding is very common with king snakes, coral snakes. I'm trying to remember what other species. That's going to bug me. Oh, splotching is also common in night snakes and lyre snakes. Not liar like, ha, you're a liar, but L-Y-R-E. They're kind of cool. We have some here. I'm hoping to see some in the future. But that's pretty much it for color patterns and color... Yeah, just color patterns and then what herpetology is. Hope this video was somewhat informative, because I just realized while talking through some other videos that it might be helpful for people to know. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as usual, I hope you guys have a great day and hope your new year is going pretty well. Here's some bonus Cheerio while I take care of things, while the end card plays.